The rain poured relentlessly over the streets of Chicago, painting the city in streaks of gray and silver. It was nearing midnight, and most people had already retreated to the comfort of their homes. But not Daniel Hart. At 58, Daniel had been driving his yellow cab for over 3 decades. Widowed for 10 years and with no children of his own, the streets had become his constant companion. That night, he was about to end his shift when he saw her, soaked, shivering, and trying to hail a ride outside the emergency entrance of St. Luke's Hospital. In her arms, a small child no older than 4, asleep and wrapped in a thin blanket. She looked frantic, desperate. Daniel pulled over without a second thought. "Hop in," he called, rolling down the window. "Thank you," she breathed, her voice cracking as she climbed in. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying. They rode in silence for a few blocks before Daniel finally asked, "Rough night?" The woman hesitated. "My son, he had a seizure. We've been in the ER for hours. I couldn't find a ride home, and my phone died. I was terrified." Daniel nodded gently. "He looks like a fighter," he said, glancing at the boy through the rearview mirror. She smiled weakly. "He is. His name's Lucas." When they arrived at a modest apartment complex on the city's west side, she reached into her bag, panic on her face. I don't have cash. I didn't even think, I was just trying to get him home safe." Daniel shook his head. "Don't worry about it." She blinked. "No, I can pay you later. I promise." He gave her a warm smile. "Some rides aren't about money. Just take care of that boy. That's all the payment I need." Her eyes welled up again, this time with gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you so much." He watched her carry Lucas up the steps until she disappeared behind the front door. Then, without waiting for anything more, Daniel drove off. It was nearly 2 a.m. When Daniel finally got home, his small apartment quiet except for the ticking of an old wall clock. He warmed up leftover soup, watched the rain patter on the windows, and finally drifted to sleep on the worn-out couch. At 7:46 a.m., his phone rang. He groggily picked it up. "Hello. Is this Daniel Hart?" a voice asked. "Yes, who is this?" "This is Dr. Ramona Wells from St. Luke's Hospital. I believe you drove a patient's family home last night, Jessica Morrison and her son, Lucas." Daniel sat up, now wide awake. "Yes, I did. Is everything okay?" There was a pause. "Lucas had a second seizure just an hour after they got home. Jessica called 911, and he's back in the ICU. She left a note with the front desk asking us to contact you. She wanted to say thank you for getting her home in time. She said if you hadn't stopped, she might have been stranded in the rain, hours from help." Daniel's heart skipped. Is he going to be okay?" "We're still monitoring him, but thanks to the timing, we were able to intervene quickly. She wanted you to know that. Also, she mentioned something else." "What's that?" "She said your name sounded familiar. Turns out, she used to volunteer at a senior center on the South Side, over a decade ago. She recognized you." Daniel blinked in disbelief. "I'm sorry. You used to bring your wife there for physical therapy, right? Jessica said she remembered you, always bringing flowers, always holding your wife's hand like it was the first time." Daniel was speechless. "She said she never forgot how much love you showed. And last night, when she was scared and alone, the universe sent you." A week later, Daniel was invited back to the hospital. Lucas was awake and smiling, his little hands gripping a toy fire truck. Jessica hugged Daniel tightly the moment she saw him. "I never forgot you," she whispered. "Even back then, you reminded me what love looked like. And now, you reminded me what kindness is." Daniel, a man not known for many words, simply nodded, his eyes misty. Glad he's okay. She handed him a small envelope. Please accept this. He opened it later in his cab. Inside was a thank you card, a photo of Lucas with a crayon drawing labeled Mr. Taxi Hero, and a gift certificate for a week at a lakeside cabin retreat. On the back of the card, a handwritten note. You gave us a ride that saved my son's life. Now let us give you a moment to rest and heal. And that's the beauty of kindness. It doesn't echo immediately. But when it returns, it comes back louder, fuller, and with a warmth that touches the soul. One ride. One act of compassion. And the world tilted just a little more toward good.